way of thinking, and he has power over you mentally. Because nature has a whole bunch of options. Do you feel the point I'm making? Nature got so many hideouts, and you understand what I'm making? Nature is wide open. And your freedom from him, from his oppression, your liberation comes from stepping outside of his matrix. And once you step outside of his matrix, you realize that we're already free. We're already free. But we use our freedom, we sell our freedom to him. More say, well, you need to file your sovereignty and do this and other. But as long as you keep having to get in contracts with him, you see the point I'm making? You are still within his jurisdictional framework.
It's just showing that you still taking everything he's saying, you honor it still.
Yeah. And you keep signing yourself into him, because the problem is that it's not until we realize that we do not need him. He give us a driver's license, get us some own land, etch out our own roads, create our own society. Why do we feel like we got to get a driver's license and drive down his roads? Do you understand what I'm making? We still caught up into his matrix. Now some of us are still over here dealing with his society. So just the fact that we're still over here, really in his matrix, driving his streets and going to his schools and working his jobs, we're in his society. But no, you're in it for one reason: to get the hell out. To get the hell out. And getting the hell out of it means getting out of the city, getting some land. Getting some land, going to somewhere where it's weather all around. Going from where it's weather all around, going back to Africa. Dr. Yorkshire already had land in Liberia. As soon as he had a court case, his ass should have been on a plane in Liberia. Do you understand the point that I'm making? We got to get out of this country to have real sovereignty. Go ahead.
I have to interject as far as speaking of Dr. York. I was moved in '87. I was under Ansar, and it was the only place that has ever existed where truly we live for, of, and by each other. Now, I understand, what you're saying about the capitalism, but when people moved into the community, they moved in with what they had, and basically everything was provided for you. Your food was provided for you. You moved into a place where we had our own print presses. We published our own books. We had our own computer department. We had our own cooks. We had our own children's house where teachers from Egypt, Ethiopia, Sudan, our children grew up speaking classical Arabic. So the thing of it is that all these things cost money. When people came in, you didn't have to bring anything with you. You know what I'm saying? Your clothes, everything was provided for you. And it's the only place in America that has ever existed, for as long as it existed. When we moved upstate, we had our own land upstate. All our trailers, everything was provided for. To this day, some of our family members, we own a whole neighborhood in Brooklyn. We still have property in Georgia. His assets. He's a very, very smart man, and the wealth that he's acquired for his people. With the land that's gotten in Liberia, he's not moving there by himself. He's gotten all of this for us. He's worked constantly since his mission started. At 22 years old, since his mission started, he has worked tirelessly. He wouldn't let us sleep at night. Our work days were from 9 o'clock in the morning to 12 if you were a pump. If we had a deadline, we had showers on the job site. We ate. We had our own cooks on the job site. We ate on the job site. We prayed 5 times a day on the job site. We had showers there. You put your head down on the desk. If we had a deadline for something that needed to come out, you put your head down for a nap. You didn't go home. You know what I'm saying? And this is how, he said, the devil doesn't sleep, we're not going to sleep. This is how we live.
Right.
So
I agree with that structure.
Any type of capitalism that was needed, all of it was for us.
I'm challenging the idea of wealth in general that we have taken for black people. I know that many of us have had that deluded notion. I'm not questioning the intentions, the integrity, or the power that Dr. York possessed.
One more thing, as far as newcomers class, in Brooklyn when newcomers classes existed, they were totally free. Never asked for a tithe, never asked for our offering. All day long he would teach from 3 to 5 hours. You know what I'm saying? Never asked for anything. But what he did was that he got black people hungry for the knowledge, and he changed black people's spending habits. My mother would always say, black people beg for what they want, and they pay for what they want and beg for what they need.
Right.
He changed our mindsets to actually want to come go dig down in our pockets to actually buy knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what has to happen. You know what I mean? Yes, you know, the charity was the classes, but getting the knowledge to them for free at first helped them to be able to spend their money to actually want that. So that's all I really wanted to say.
Two things I'm looking at. How much knowledge that people actually need to do what is right. Because there's a vanity of knowledge. Go in black bookstores. A lot of people got a whole bunch of knowledge. They ain't doing nothing. They know much more than they've read extensively. They've read more books than all of us in this room. So you see what they're doing with it. So knowledge is can amount to vanity. Now, the issue of wealth. The word FBI stands for fidelity, bravery, and integrity. That's what it stands for. So this entity is set up. They're not getting paid a whole bunch of money. Nor is the Secret Service really getting paid a lot for the amount of information and intelligence that they have. For that information and intelligence, they could be Bill Gates. They could all be Donald Trumps. But their belief in withholding the principles of which they believe this country stands for, they're working for that. They're not even really working for the money. They're risking their life for this government. So that means what holds this government at its essential core is not money. Follow me with this. It is not wealth. That is all the illusion. It is people who really have integrity to this country. So a real nation and state is not built off wealth nor consumerism or vanity of information. It's built off the integrity of the individuals that are part of it. And you can have all the other ones. You can have millions of dollars. You can have libraries from here, like they had in China when Mao went over there and started tearing their shit up. You can have libraries that are the size of the city of Chicago. But if the people do not have integrity to the sovereign nation state, give you an example. There's more people in the black community, so-called conscious community, that are more knowledgeable than any European I ever met. But with all that knowledge, the dumbest of crackers will get on his little dumbass radio and have 24 of them out there in 10 minutes. And with all his intelligence, that's this black conscious person, he cannot organize or put nothing together like that to back his own ass. Do you feel what I'm making? So we gotta, I'm gonna close this. We got to prioritize. And the reason that people did, we're not dissing what people did in the past, but we're analyzing it so we can make intelligent decisions today. There obviously were some mistakes made. Not saying that we're free from making mistakes or that our theories cannot lead us to some incorrect positions. We're not claiming that we got greater knowledge than anybody who has ever existed here. But what we do claim is that we can make a rational, critical evaluation of what our forefathers have did, and we can try to do it in a better way. And there are some problems and that we can see. There's some concepts that failed. There's some concepts that succeeded. Do you see the point I'm making? Mm-hmm. And we got to weigh the differences out so that we don't make the same mistakes. Because if you glorify it in its totality, then you're prepared to make the same exact mistakes. You can glorify 60%. You understand what I'm making? But if you go and glorify it 100%, you're prepared to make the same mistakes. On 100% completely. We can't make the same mistakes Yahweh Ben Yahweh made, not Noble Drew Ali made. We can't make the same mistakes Ben Ami made or Dr. York made. Do you understand what I'm making? Let's make some new mistakes and move this further along. Even with Ben Ami, what they realized, not to get off the subject, but they realize now that if you see the youth movement, they're coming back to the States, setting up businesses, setting up little vegetarian restaurants. Because what did they realize? That, wait a minute, Dimona is living off the American economy. We build Israel and Dimona by going to Soul Veg paying $10 a plate. So they need the black economy in order to survive anywhere around the world at the end of the day. We built Israel. Do you see the point I'm making? So they realize that now the youth are coming out of that illusion of this is the Holy Land. But it ain't holy if it ain't got no money.